Caution, right 5 into acute left.
Hello, I am GamesRadar Plus features editor David Horton. I am with today Justin Towell, our reviews editor. We're going to talk through the newly announced Dirt Rally.
Dirt Rally.
Now, this is obviously the new one from Cody's,
Yeah.
Codemasters of Grid, Dirt, all the other good racing games fame.
Yeah, F1.
F1 as well, yeah. It's been a while since we heard anything genuinely new from those guys.
Yes.
This, though, is not necessarily what we were expecting from a new Dirt game.
Not at all, no. It's, I mean, it's out now. It's, as you're listening
say
to this,
newly announced, I mean newly announced.
Yes, newly announced, and here it
Yeah.
is. It's a rally simulation,
Yeah.
and it's out on Steam's Early Access.
Right.
So it's $24.99, and you buy that, and then you never have to pay any more, but they'll
Right.
keep making the game bigger.
Okay.
So there's no microtransactions, but it isn't technically finished. I mean,
Yeah.
it might come out of Early Access in December. It depends how it goes,
Yeah.
maybe December.
But
we'll
before
see.
we get into kind of how the game's going to expand and scale,
Yeah.
theoretically, you very notably said rally simulation there.
Yes.
Now, Cody's stuff for the last few years has been very much sort of half arcade, half simulation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that mean this is somewhat different?
Yes, I mean, Dirt, to me, I think of Dirt 2 and all of the... Well, there's the Gymkhana stuff where
Yeah.
you're smashing polystyrene blocks around, and all the rally cross events where it's you versus other cars. Right now, this is just one car on one track, or, I mean, it's 3 different areas that you
Yeah.
get to start with. There's Greece, Wales, and Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And it's just you against the clock. It's proper rally.
Pure rally,
Yeah,
basically.
it's basically what Colin McRae Rally used to be.
Yeah.
Uh,
So has the handling changed in that respect as well?
Yes, it's a proper simulation now. They're actually simulating everything properly, because in the past there have been some little tricks to make it feel good, but it's not
Yeah.
necessarily simulating it exactly. But this is a proper simulation of each of the cars.
Yeah, but of course, we're just like one event type at the moment. There's maybe some people thinking, sounds a bit limited compared to the huge amounts of content the previous
Yeah.
games have had.
Well-
is that the sort of thing that's going to be addressed as this thing evolves?
Yes, I mean, the 3 areas you've got at the moment and what the game is quite finished. You know, you play it all as Dirt game.
Yeah.
Online, so you can go to the website, you can set up your own challenges for other people,
Right.
which people would do in the forums anyway.
Yeah.
But now RaceNet is integrated into that, so you can set up everything, and it's all about you against the clock and just tweaking your car. There's a new sort of mechanic thing where you can recruit mechanics,
Yeah.
which is a bit like sort of Grid, used to do. So you get your team, the better they are, the more money you spend on mechanics, and the faster they'll be able to fix your car when you break it.
Yeah.
So there's depth there, but really it is just one car on the track and you just enjoying it.
Interesting you mentioned the online RaceNet
Yeah.
kind of stuff being more tied to the overall experience now. In that with being an early access game, and especially being released without announcement as well, is there kind of a gist that they are going for kind of community involvement and word of mouth to kind of spread the hype on this thing?
Yes, absolutely. They're really going for the hardcore racing fans, the ones who said every time Dirt comes out, I wish it was more like Colin McRae.
Yeah.
They want to appease those fans first and
Right.
foremost, to get the hardcore fans on board. And then if they like or don't like what they're playing to start with, they'll listen. I mean, as it is, there are some update tracks coming, which, for instance, I played Pikes Peak. That's going
Yeah.
to be the first downloadable thing in a few weeks. But after the first few, they're going to be open to whatever people want
Right.
to see. So Rallycross will come in, which is against other cars. So it won't just be one car
Right,
forever.
cool.
And if people want Gymkhana, Ken Block, if they really want that,
Yeah.
then they'll make it.
I suppose it's smart actually because going for a more pure rally experience for that certain subset of fans
Yeah.
is kind of a risky situation to get into. So maybe a kind of cheaper early access base and then evolving and seeing how it goes.
Yes.
Is a kind of a safer test bed than just making a full scale 50 quid game, banging it out
Absolutely,
and going,
yeah.
oh god, actually only 10 people wanted that.
Yeah. And it's a long-term plan,
Yeah.
So as word of mouth spreads, people will keep dropping money on buying
Yeah.
it. And of course, once it comes out of early access, it might go up in price anyway. So
Yeah. One last interesting point though, format.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it is just PC early access
Yeah.
Steam. You can only play it on
Yeah.
PC. So it's the first time that they've ever just made a PC racing game.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's always been consoles.
Is there a sense that that's maybe just because early access isn't really a thing on consoles at the moment? Or-
Yeah, I mean, there are ways that it could be done. I asked them and they said theoretically it could run on PlayStation 4,
Yeah.
Xbox One. And they're not saying it won't happen in the future,
Yeah.
but they want to get the game that they want. They want to make the game that people want first,
Yeah.
and then when they've got something that's great and yes, they think it's finished and it's out of early access, then they can look at porting it to console.
Almost
which
like
is
a community development situation.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit like Project Cars
yeah,
in
exactly.
that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Very intriguing.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously this one is going to evolve and grow and evolve for quite a while, hopefully.
Yes.
So for all more news and developments on this one and everything else, just keep it tuned to GamesRadar.
That was a pretty sweet video, right? If you want to see more, go to GamesRadar's YouTube page over here. Or if you want to read, maybe up your game a little bit, go to GamesRadar.com.